And um, I baru habis my diploma last year, tapi I grad this year. And Alhamdulillah, I'm currently doing my degree in law dekat UIA. And Alhamdulillah juga untuk subjek laws during my diploma, I managed to get A. So, the reason I buat ni sebab I've been receiving text from some of you guys yang korang tanya on how to jawab and everything, and jangan risau because I've been there. Dulu masa I pun I was so clueless, I tak tahu how I like work. So along the way I pun belajar from my lecturers apa semua, and then I'm here to help you guys mana yang I boleh tolong. Korang dengar tak? Sikit I punya. Okay, Alhamdulillah, okay. Anything just ask me, okay? So, before I start, I just nak make sure korang tahu yang apa yang I cakap ni is solely based on I punya understanding tau. And also, apa yang I buat masa my final exam. And also, my lecturers punya ajaran lah, diorang punya advice. Okay, so I'm sure that all of you dah tahu what is ILAC is. Kalau macam I sekarang kan dekat UAE, diorang panggil ILAC. It's actually the same je. Cumanya they use the word rule, tapi sama je. So, ILAC ni is actually very easy if korang faham the technique. Sebab once you faham the technique and also the topic, which is defamation and negligence, you bagilah soalan apa pun, you akan boleh jawab. Tapi before that, you have to understand lah the topic very well. Defamation apa, negligence apa. And for I takkan fokus on that sangat sebab I'm assuming korang pun dah prepare for that topic. Cuma if you guys have any questions, just ask me. Cuma I nak fokus on ILAC, okay? So, kita start. Sekejap. Kenapa dia tak gerak? Ni. Okay, so ILAC stands for Issue, Law, Application and Conclusion. So kenapa kita guna ini? It's because of the cliche reasons lah. Because it shows that structured legal thinking, and actually you guys have to know that yang menanda kertas ni, don't care more about reasoning, the reason. Okay? And sebenarnya, one thing about, kalau korang nak tahu, one thing about ILAC, one thing about law ni, there is no right and there is no wrong. Even if korang cakap, okay, that person is liable for defamation, tapi your friend punya answer lain. So korang jangan fikir pasal tu sebab everyone has their own argument. It's how you argue. Itu yang lecturers akan tengok. Even kalau you cakap liable, tapi kawan you cakap tak liable, then it depends on your argument. Tapi if the questions macam dah clearly shows that defamation or negligence is established, then it's very likely for it to be liable lah, macam tu. Okay, so we start with issue. Mana pula ni? Okay. So this is the flow. I think korang pun dah well aware. We started with identifying the legal problem. So korang identify dulu dalam soalan tu whether it is about defamation or it is about negligence. Sebab korang untuk ILAC, korang memang akan jawab the two topics je kan. So it will be easier sebab by reading the questions pun korang dah boleh identify whether the topic is about defamation or negligence. And kalau macam defamation, it's about saying things about someone else, or negligence ni is about someone that is being careless. Dorang tak take the reasonable act towards someone. And actually dalam ILAC, the one that is the most important is part dalam application. Sebab dekat situ yang lecturers akan tengok sama ada korang faham ke tidak apa yang korang tulis tu, apa yang korang belajar. Which is all the elements or the laws korang apply in the application. Even dalam law you, contohnya you letak 10 cases pun, tapi application you tak strong, then you akan markah you akan rendah. Sebab application ni yang shows, yang akan menjawab you punya issue. Sebab itu yang soalan nak, for you to answer the question. So application ni, you have to be very careful lah. And again, I can say that it is easy once you faham what's the difference between the law and also the application. Again, anyone, if ada soalan, just interrupt me, okay? I tak kisah pun, korang just tanya, okay? Alright, so we started with the issue. Okay, untuk issue, it's very simple, it's very concise, it's very, tak payah panjang-panjang, okay? It can be one line, it can be 2 lines, tapi tak perlu panjang sampai satu perenggan on just issue, tak payah. And untuk issue, korang kena tengok dulu, soalan tu dia minta apa. Kalau contohnya dia cakap, you guys can refer soalan, I think, soalan yang Zali tu, Februari 2024. I buat yang tu defamation on Zali. Okay. Dalam tu dia ada cakap kan, the party that we should advise. So, kalau dekat soalan tu, untuk determine the issue, korang kena tengok soalan minta dia advise siapa. Kalau dia minta advise party yang bersalah, yang buat salah tu, so you punya sentence would be whether, contohnya, Abu is liable for defamation when apa, when just the briefly facts of the case. Contohnya, I bagi kat contoh kat bawah ni, whether Ali is liable for defamation when he posted a false statement on Instagram. It doesn't has to be lengthy ke apa-apa, just very sweet and short. Yang penting, korang clearly stated nama of the parties. Okay? And then, okay. Tapi, let's say kalau dia cakap advise the party yang kena contoh we are talking about defamation, okay. And then the question minta advise the party yang kena fitnah tu. So you cannot say, contohnya yang kena fitnah adalah Selena. So you cannot say whether Selena is liable for defamation. No, it is wrong sebabnya Selena yang kena fitnah kan. So if the question minta advise Selena, then the issue would be whether Selena can sue the other party, contohnya nama Abu. Whether Selena can sue Abu for defamation. So, situlah korang kena alert. Kalau questions minta advice party mana, and then that's how you write for your issue. Is everyone clear? Ada apa-apa soalan ke? Jangan malu-malu tau, serious. Just very santai-santai je, tak ada apa pun. Okay. I tulis kat situ one issue per paragraph. Tapi sebenarnya dalam korang punya ni, dalam korang punya level, dia akan memang ada satu isu je. So, abaikan yang I punya tips. One issue, one paragraph tu. And then paling penting, don't copy the questions word for word. You paraphrase your own words for the issue. Okay? Is everything clear? Is everyone clear?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Alright. Okay. This is the law part. I think ni yang part orang paling takut kot. Sebab this is where the part yang kita akan muntahkan kita punya cases. Tapi sebenarnya, it's very simple. Okay. Bila dah masuk part law, one thing you have to note, you jangan terus masuk case law, jangan terus masuk elemen. You have to explain first what is the topic is about. Contohnya defamation. And then you just write dulu. Okay, kan tadi dah tulis issue kan? And then you masuk law. You tulis tajuk law and then you explain dulu. Jangan terus masuk, there are 3 elements for defamation and no. You explain dulu. Defamation is about what? And definition ni, you don't have to hafal pun. You just write from your own understanding. Apa yang you faham from defamation? You don't have to, dia tak ada specific definition yang you kena hafal, yang you kena tulis tak. It's just from your own understanding. What do you know for what does it mean by defamation. So that's the first thing. For law, you have to explain first. Jangan terus masuk case law, jangan terus masuk elements. You explain dulu. Negligence is about what? Defamation is about what? Okay? Alright, so bila dah explain, dah briefly explain, dah introduce defamation is about apa, negligence ni about apa, kita masuk. There are 3 elements sebabkan korang punya topik ni memang dia dah sangat ringkas dah. Sebenarnya kalau negligence kan, sebenarnya dia ada lagi tau, very detail from what I learn lah. Tapi untuk korang punya subjek ni, just focus on the 3 elements je. For defamation, contohnya kan, sekejap sorry. Okay, tadi kan kita dah explain what does it mean by defamation, what does it mean by negligence, and then kita masuk. There are 3 elements that must be fulfilled. Korang kena ingat tau, korang kena cakap yang the 3 elements tu kena fulfill. Contohnya negligence, the 3 element which is duty of care, breach of duty, damage tu, memang you have to prove. Kalau satu tak ada, then you cannot show that it is negligence. Macam tu. Tapi sebenarnya kan, from what I've seen dekat dalam past year, most of the questions lebih kepada semua elemen tu establish. Tapi sebenarnya boleh jadi juga satu elemen tu tak establish and then there is no lah negligence or defamation. Tapi you guys don't have to worry about that sebab sebenarnya I rasa it's very unlikely sebab if dia buat macam tu, it require you guys to argue tau. So, argue tu I rasa dah macam law school lah. Tapi just prepare je lah if the element tak fulfill. Okay, let's say kalau the element of contoh kita were talking about defamation. The publication tak ada. So, kita cakap je lah dekat bahagian conclusion tu. For conclusion, Abu is not liable for defamation, even though the words are defamatory and even though it refers to the plaintiff. Defamation cannot be established because there is no the element of publication is not fulfilled. Thus, Ali is not liable for defamation. Macam tu je. Kita je cakap elemen apa yang fulfill and elemen apa yang missing. Tapi from what I seen, semua fulfill je. Tapi it depends lah. It depends. Kalau korang rasa macam benda tu tak fulfill, then just cakap. Tapi in the safer way, korang cuba je lah to prove that all elements are proven. Okay? So, once you guys dah mention all the 3 elements, kan I cakap kan, we explain dulu what is defamation, what is negligence, and then we go cakap dulu, in order for defamation to be proven, we have to prove 3 elements, which is words are defamatory, refer to plaintiff, and then there is publication. Kalau negligence, there is duty of care, breach of duty, and damage. Okay, lepas tu you nak masuk perenggan baru pun boleh. You cakap, okay, firstly, the first element is words must be defamatory. Okay, from you, dalam buku yang, I tak tahu korang rujuk buku Malaysian Legal System yang warna hitam ada line merah tu ke tidak. Tapi kita orang merujuk situ. Okay, kita cakap dulu. The first element is words can be defamatory kan. Tapi under this element, dia ada 3 anak dia tau, which is natural ordinary meaning, innuendo, and juxtaposition. Korang mention je all the 3, you name all the 3. Tapi dia takkan semua 3 jenis tu ada dalam soalan kan. Biasa dia akan natural and ordinary meaning. So, you still have to state it, all the 3 types, all the 3 ways. Tapi untuk explanation yang detail tu, korang just focus on the one that is relevant. Faham tak? Contohnya dalam soalan, the words are defamatory in natural and ordinary meaning. Maksudnya, the words itself tu memang dah nampak element of defamatory. Contohnya ayat, Alice, kedai Ali guna barang-barang expired. The word expired tu in its natural and ordinary meaning, bila orang dengar pun orang macam, oh, kedai dia tak bagus lah sebab dia guna barang dah expired. So that's what it meant by natural and ordinary meaning. So you just focus on that way. you focus on you focus on natural ordinary meaning, tapi you mention juga innuendo, faham tak? Macam tadi kan I dah cakap kan, you stated dulu the first element, which words can be defamatory in three ways, namely natural and ordinary meaning, innuendo, and juxtaposition. But for the explanation, for the detailed explanation, you focus the one that is relevant je. If the innuendo, then you focus on innuendo. If it is juxtaposition, you focus on that. Okay? Tapi you still have to mention the three ways tu. Okay? Alright. So, kita masuk the scariest part, which is the case law. Okay, for case law ni, um, I lupa nak cakap. Dekat bahagian law, you cannot relate with the question at all. Okay? Dekat bahagian law is solely you explain the principles, the law. Jangan kaitkan langsung dengan soalan. Contohnya soalan tu ada pasal macam ada nama Abu Ali. No, 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 no. Jangan sentuh langsung dekat bahagian law. Sebab everything that is related to the question itu dekat bahagian application. Dekat bahagian law, you solely explain the rules, the principle, the case law, okay? Jangan sentuh langsung on the question given. Dekat bahagian application baru you sentuh, okay? Alright. So, bila kita masuk case law ni, okay, my way, I faham. Menghafal ni susah tau. Satu, you nak ingat nama. And then, satu, you nak faham dia cerita. Sebab English, when it comes to law, dia punya English sangat complicated. I pun sendiri tak faham. I pun usually akan suruh ChatGPT je explain balik the cases. So, what I did was, masa I study for the case, I usually akan write my own understanding, the full apa yang jadi on the cases. I akan write the notes. Okay, bila you tulis, you akan faham tau jalan cerita benda tu. So, dalam exam nanti, you just cerita the facts of the case tu in your own words. You jangan paksa diri you to hafal the exact words that they use in the book. Sebab trust me, once you lupa that, you akan lupa everything. Sebab you akan black out. Auzubillah. So, yang penting sekali, you focus on apa yang you faham on the case. Okay? So, dekat waktu exam nanti, kan tadi you dah cakap kan, the first element is the words are defamatory. Okay, lepas tu kita masukkan case law. How do you start the case law? You cakap, this can be seen or as in the case of, tu the one of the ways lah untuk you masuk terus the name of the case. Alright, so macam mana you nak explain the cases? Macam saya cakap tadi, you tak perlu cerita detail sangat tau untuk facts of the case ni. Tapi kalau you rasa facts tu penting, contohnya sebabkan facts tu mungkin lebih kurang sama macam kita punya situation, then you explain lah detail. Tapi kalau you rasa macam tak penting, then you still have to write on the facts of the case, tapi you tak perlu panjang-panjang, you don't have to be very detailed. Sebab you tengah lawan dengan masa. Sebab you have other questions that you have to answer. So, you can pandai-pandai lah target for one highlight you nak spend berapa minutes, okay? So, sebenarnya, when we're talking about case law ni, yang paling penting adalah dia punya principle tau. What the court held. Apa decision court tu. Sebab, kita nak apply dalam kita punya application, ikut yang court decision tu. Kita tak ikut apa jalan cerita case tu. Kita apply the court held. Okay? So, secara ringkasnya, for the case, you just stated the name of the case, the year, and then you explain. In this case, just 2 or 3 lines should be okay. Tapi, kalau your lecturer memang ada cakap, you have to write the full cases, what really happened in detail, then you follow lah. Tapi macam I sekarang dulu pun, masa I diploma, I tend to write a very long, I cerita the cases sangat panjang. Sampai I kadang-kadang tak, dekat application I pendek. Tapi sebab macam I sekarang, contohnya kan macam one element tu, we have to hafal around 6 cases or maybe up to 10 cases tau. And mostly the cases tu dia punya judgement sama. So we just write the principle. So kalau macam korang ni, better for all the cases korang tulislah the facts. Tapi jangan panjang-panjang. Should be 2 or 3 lines okay lah. Yang penting sekali what the court held, okay? Sebab decision court tu yang paling penting. And you have to focus on that lah. Alright. And you have to, macam saya cakap tadi, you explain dulu the topic is about what, and then the element is about what. Jangan terus cakap, okay, the words must be defamatory. In the case of, no. Explain dulu, what does it mean by defamatory, and what does it mean by there is a publication, what does it mean by duty of care, what does it mean by breach of duty. And if anyone has a problem in like understanding each of the element, just let me know, okay? You guys still have some time kan? You punya paper esok kan? Is it esok or lusa? Lusa 11 hari bulan kan? So, you still have plenty of time to understand each element. If you tak faham, just text me, okay? And how many... Sekejap saya kena... Okay. Kena hafal semua cases-cases yang berkaitan. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Sebabnya, let's say, okay, dalam situation kita, dia punya, it's clear that defamation is that. The words are defamatory. Contohnya, kalau korang tengok soalan Februari 2024, yang pasal Zali tu, the words are defamatory. Tapi, boleh ke kita nak apply juga kes Azwan Ali? Sebab dalam kes Azwan Ali tu, the court punya decision, court cakap the word menangis tu tak defamatory. So macam secara logiknya macam tak berkaitan lah kan, tak related. Sebab dalam Azwan Ali cakap tak it's not defamation. Tapi can we apply in the situation that the defamation is established? Boleh, sangat-sangat boleh. Sebab when we are talking about laws ni, bukannya you kena cari specific case yang sama jalan cerita, tak. You kena bandingkan. Itu yang paling penting. It's how you compare. Contohnya kan dekat dalam bahagian, tapi sebenarnya yang compare tu nanti dekat bahagian application. But to answer Hafiz's questions, it is encouraged lah untuk you hafal cases yang berkaitan. Okay, macam I akan kejap I show my notes. My way is, I akan ingat dalam elemen ni ada cases apa. Dalam elemen ni ada cases apa. So, it will be easier lah for I untuk ingat. Sekejap. Okay, this one. Nampak tak? I tak adalah hafal banyak sangat cases pun masa diploma dulu. Tengok, untuk dalam bahagian elements, the first one, words are defamatory. For natural and ordinary meaning, I hafal 2 cases. False innuendo, I hafal 1. Then this one, 2. Sebab dalam buku, I tak tahulah dalam korang punya slides, korang punya sources, berapa banyak korang punya case ada. Tapi kalau boleh, cubalah hafal. Contohnya satu elemen tu, more than one cases lah. Sebabnya, contohnya when we talk about frauds kan, negligence tu, kalau kau nak tahu, negligence tu kita tak ada, korang tahu tak buku law yang warna-warni tu, yang warna panjang, itu namanya dia statute tau. Itu akta. Kita tak ada akta tau yang berkaitan dengan negligence. Sebabnya, kita, negligence ni kita ikut English law tau. And then, common law, English law. England punya law. And England punya law ni, diorang punya cara diorang buat keputusan, diorang akan ikut kes-kes lama tau. Contohnya, Dono and Stevenson tu. Itu diorang punya kiranya landmark cases lah. So, everything that is related to negligence, diorang akan refer what the court held. So, Malaysia pun sama juga. Kita akan rujuk for the types of negligence lah. Sebab dia, kita tak ada specific act on that. Ini just extra information lah. So, what I'm trying to say is that, the more cases that you put, the stronger your argument will be tau. Sebab it shows yang korang bukan je cakap kosong. Korang ada authority, korang ada bukti from the cases, from what the court held. So, it is highly encouraged lah for you guys untuk hafal more than one cases for each element. Sebab law ni, kalau you tulis panjang sampai 10 muka surat pun, tapi tak ada bukti, tak ada cases, tak ada, dia tak akan dapat low marks lah. Sebab that's just how it is. You have to follow, you have to put cases lah. So, I know it's overwhelming. Dia susah if you tak faham what the case is about. Uh, InsyaAllah, kalau you betul-betul faham what the case is about, you will be okay. Cumanya, I faham lah sebab kadang-kadang bila dah banyak nama, banyak sangat case name ni, kita often to get mixed up. So, for my way, I usually akan tulis. I akan tulis sampai I ingat. I akan tulis the element and then I akan tulis the cases under that element. So, I think that's about it lah kot untuk yang berapa banyak cases or cases yang berkaitan. Okay? Alright. So, let's continue untuk part law ni. I'll just summarize again. Ingat, untuk law, you mention dulu what is the topic is about, and then you explain. In order to prove defamation, ada 3 elements. In order to prove negligence, ada 3 elements. Okay? And then each element, you kena explain dulu apa benda. Tak payah panjang-panjang pun, cukup sekadar, oh, bila examiner tahu, examiner tanda, dia macam, oh, okay, tahu. You kena anggap orang yang tanda you punya paper ni budak darjah 1 yang tak tahu apa. So you cannot, you have to explain, okay? For each element. And each. Biasakan diri to write introduction macam element, apa benda, what does it mean? Defamation, what does it mean? Okay? I think that's for law part. Alright. So, moving on to application. Kalau I laju sangat, bagi tahu je tau. Alright. Application ni yang paling penting sebab this is where you guys apply all the laws that you had explained earlier. Okay. This is the template tau kalau you guys nak follow lah. Okay. So, untuk application, you started with based on the question given ataupun depends lah on you just to start the question, to start the answer for application. Okay, application is where you apply all the laws that you explained, all the legal principles that you have explained before. Macam mana you nak start? You start up by applying the case. So nampaklah yang you apply the cases. Okay. Okay, you have to note, you tak payah rewrite balik tau apa yang you dah explain dekat law tadi. Sebab dekat bahagian law kan, you dah explain very detail about the cases, what happened, what and who is involved, yada yada yada. So, for the application, you just state it in the by applying, contohnya by applying the case of Duno and Stevenson, where the court held that the party was liable because duty of care exists. In this case, in the present case, it can be seen that Ali also owe a duty of care to Abu. This is because you explain. Okay? So, application ni, sebab tak I cakap, in order for you to know how to answer, you kena faham dulu case tu pasal apa. Sebab kalau you tak faham the cases kan, you macam tak tahu what's the reason kenapa court to decide that way. Sebab itu apa yang kita nak apply in our application. So you boleh tengoklah the example that I give. In this case, Ali leaving a wet floor without a warning sign satisfied the element of breach of duty. By applying the case of Dono Stevenson, where the court held that a manufacturer owes a duty of care to consumers, itu from the law tadi. Then kita masuk balik our question. It can be seen that Ali owe a duty of care to anyone that is entering the shop. And then you elaborate lah sikit. This is because sleeping on an unmarked wet floor was reasonably foreseeable and cause actual harm to Abu. How you elaborate is, you tengok je dekat soalan tu kan. Contohnya, soalan pasal defamation. And kita cakap, okay, yang I cakap bagi contoh tu kan. In this case, Ali posting a false statement on Instagram satisfy the element of publication. And then how you elaborate, you apply the cases, and then you use the WH questions pun boleh juga. Faham tak maksudnya? Why? Okay, macam I tadi kan, dekat bahagian negligence tu kan. Why did I say that Ali owe a duty care to anyone that is entering the shop? Because sleeping on an unmarked wet floor was reasonably foreseeable to cause harm to anyone. So you bukan semata-mata you apply, you just stated the cases, apa tak. You kena elaborate sikit. Paling penting, you can follow juga the template. Nampak tak I cakap? By applying the case of where the court held, it can be seen. It can be seen tu, you sambung dengan ayat soalan. It can be seen that Ali, okay? Lepas tu you elaborate lah. This is because you go back to the question. And then state your own reason kenapa. And I'm sure you don't have to worry about this tau. Sebab along the way, bila korang tulisan, bila korang faham soalan tu pasal apa, eventually idea tu akan datang. Macam, okay, kita cakap, contohnya kita cakap, it is defamation, the words are defamatory. Why? Because the word itself, contohnya the word pencuri. Alhamdulillah, sorry. The words defamatory, the words pencuri can affect someone's reputational harm, something like that. You goreng lah kat situ. I'm sure korang APA mesti korang kena pandai goreng sebab korang punya essay satu soalan 20 markah kot. So, itu korang goreng lah dekat bahagian why tu. Tapi you have to know lah how to apply the case. Okay, what if the case is contoh macam I cakap tadi, Azwan Ali tu case dia, the court stated that it is not defamatory sebab the word menangis tu. Tapi dalam soalan kita contohnya it is defamation. So macam mana nak apply? Sebab kan dalam Azwan Ali tak, tapi dalam soalan kita ada defamation tu. You just bandingkan. Contohnya, alright. In this case, the element of words are defamatory is proven by applying the case of Azwan Ali, where the court held that the word menangis does not constitute to defamation. In the question, however, it can be said that it is defamatory. Nampak tak I guna however. So kita bandingkan. It doesn't has to macam, okay, dalam sebabkan soalan tu it shows that defamation is established, you kena cari juga case yang shows that defamation is established. Tak, boleh je court decision tu lain. So you just bandingkan. Tapi lebih baik kalau the cases tu samalah dengan kita punya question tu. Tapi yang paling penting kat sini, you kena bandingkan dah. You tak ada nak cakap, okay, by applying the case of Azwan Ali, the words are defamatory. Tak boleh lah sebabnya Azwan Ali tu memang clearly dah cakap it is not defamatory. So you kena, how you structure your ayat. By applying the case of Azwan Ali, where the court held that the words are not defamatory, however, in this case, the words is defamatory because macam tu, you explain lah, goreng lah kat situ. Okay? So, paling penting for application, contohnya kan, dekat bahagian dalam elemen satu, you letak 2 cases. Dekat bahagian application tu pun, dua-dua cases tu, lebih afdal, lebih baik, you stated dua-dua cases. Faham tak? Semua cases yang you mention dekat bahagian law, it is highly encourageable untuk you apply juga. So, it's not always lah untuk you explain dekat, contohlah dekat dalam bahagian law, you letak 5 cases, tapi you apply 1 je. Macam sayang lah, macam rugi. Macam saya cakap tadi, the more cases that you letak, the stronger your argument would be. So, you cakap je lah. Let's say, macam ni nak ayatkan, okay, by applying the case of Azan Ali, okay. Similarly, in the case of ni, it can be seen that macam tu. Just you guna the linking word je lah. Similarly, however, um, nevertheless, something like that lah. You try to apply all the cases that you have mentioned before and elaborate on that. Okay? And you guys have to know in mind that there is no right and wrong. Let's say lah, you punya argument, oh, the words are, contohnya kan, benda tu macam, um, the word sebenarnya tak defamatory, tapi you rasa defamatory, then you just argue je. This is where you have to show your skill on argue. Kan suka bergaduh kan masing-masing kan. So just you have to stick it lah. You kena shows yang you punya argument ni strong by elaborate. You elaborate and then you apply the cases. Okay? Is everyone clear? I'm scared I laju sangat. Tapi jelas tak on the part of application? So korang dah nampak kan the difference between application and difference between law. Law, you don't have to mention at all about the question. You muntahkan semua you punya law, semua you punya case, semua you punya elements apa semua tu. Tapi dekat bagian application baru you masuk dia punya question. Tadi ada juga someone texted me, dia cakap dia tengok dekat dalam Google Sudoku ada orang dia buat isu, lepas tu dia buat law, lepas tu dia terus law 1, application 1. Law 2, application 2. Maksudnya law 1, elemen 1, application, apply the elemen 1. Macam tu, it's not encouraged sebab you punya application akan jadi sangat pendek. So, my way is cuba je you buat macam I buat tu. Which is you explain all the laws, all the elements, dan baru you masuk application. And application ni memang takkan panjang macam mana you punya law. Yang penting, concise you punya ayat tu. Okay? You ambil je dekat dalam keyword apa yang menunjukkan you untuk to support you punya argument. Contohnya, kita nak cakap pasal, contohnya libel defamation kan. That the defamation is permanent. You cakap lah, because in this case, in the question given, Ali posted on Instagram. So this shows that the it falls under the defamation, specifically libel type. So the the damage is permanent, which can cause Abu to suffer more reputational harm. Macam tu. So you always relate with the question. Okay? For the application, I think that's all code for application. Once you dah faham the cases tu, insyaAllah okay je. Right. So, okay. For the conclusion, apa yang nak kena tulis for conclusion ni? Conclusion, you have to answer your issue. Contoh yang tadi kan, we go back to our issue. Whether whether Abu is liable for defamation. Ataupun whether Abu can sue Ali for defamation. Then we just answer that for conclusion. Therefore, the party is liable for defamation. Kenapa? Cakap, you stated balik all the elements that have been fulfilled. You jangan terus, sebab conclusion je, pendek je. So, cakap je, therefore Abu is liable for defamation. Tak boleh lah. You kenalah tutup you punya essay dengan secara ni lah. So, macam, you cakap whether therefore, you tutup nicely the essay. Therefore, Abu is liable for defamation because all the elements which is words are defamatory, there is publication, refers to plaintiff have been satisfied. And then kalau you nak conclude balik, you nak briefly explain, briefly link to the facts which is macam contohnya, tadi kan ada cakap kan, the elements have been fulfilled because the words are defamatory, there is publication, refers to plaintiff, as you just briefly concludekan balik what really happened in that case. Macam tu. Just put in one sentence to sum up from the started and what really happened. Macam tu. So, tengok I tulis kat situ. Don't just say liable or not liable. State which elements yang fulfill. Sebab daripada elemen tu kita tahu sama ada defamation ke tidak, negligence ke tidak. So, tu je lah kot. Conclusion tu memang akan ringkas je. Tapi you kena stated lah balik apa yang you ingat. Conclusion, you kena jawab balik the issue. So, you stated balik what that you had been explained. What the elements macam tu. Keep it short and sweet. Paling penting is application and law lah. Tu yang akan panjang. Okay? Alright, so this is the summary lah. Kalau korang nak tak gambar pun boleh aku ni lah. Um, uh, I think that's all lah kot. Hmm. Dia macam I selalu buat pasir. So, eventually you akan biasa jawab exam, jawab IELTS ni. It takes time lah untuk you hafal the cases. I faham gila. I been there. So, it's okay. It takes time. Tapi you still have plenty of time kan. Just for now, maybe you guys can just practice on answering. Differentiate what is law, what is application. And then, insyaAllah lah, you guys will be okay lah in answering that. And, itulah kot. I rasa. Okay, sekejap. Allah jauhnya. Sekejap Okay, this is some of the common mistakes lah yang orang buat. I pun selalu juga buat. So, nampak tak? Writing long law definitions without applying to the facts. Maksudnya macam, we explain the element tapi tak apply pun element tu with the questions. Macam tu. Ignoring key facts. Macam ni nak tahu benda tu key important facts ke tidak, you tengoklah dalam questions tu kan. Kalau it shows yang Ali left a Ali left a Ali didn't put a warning sign when the floor is wet kan macam tu kan nampak dia wet the keywords kan by leaving the wet floor without any sign macam tu lah. So nampak tak giving conclusion without reasoning. Macam mana you nak give reasoning, just state the elements. Yang paling penting, I like it's not about memorizing. It's about how you apply, how you understand benda tu. Okay? And then this is some of the tips. Untuk ni banyak application lah. Always link the laws to the facts. You apply balik the laws that you have explained. And focus on application juga. Jangan law panjang-panjang. Application pendek sangat-sangat-sangat. Sebab you fokus sangat jawab dekat bahagian law. You muntahkan you punya cases. Sampai tak cukup masa untuk application. Sedangkan application tu lah yang paling penting. And then find the keyword. Contohnya dalam soalan kan. You baca soalan. And then bila you baca tu kan. You cuba identify dia under elemen apa. Whether referring to plaintiff. Kalau contohnya dia kata dia ada mention nama kan. Ali stated that Ali had mentioned that the shop ABC is containing expired product. Itu kan macam referring to the plaintiff. And then contohnya elements of duty of care. You highlight lah, cuba you baca on the question and then you recognize the questions tu, the sentence tu belong to what element. Okay? So, cuba untuk maksud I ni, one element, one paragraph. Bukanlah setiap satu elemen tu you cukupkan satu paragraph je. Tak. Maksud I, asingkanlah. Kalau let's say elemen you 2 paragraph, okay je. Cuma jangan campur lah you punya elemen tu. Sedangkan ada 3 elemen kan, you campur semua dalam satu perenggan. Jadi tak cantik lah. Lecturer nak tanda pun sikit mata. So, cuba susun dia punya elemen tu cantik-cantik. Kalau you rasa dah panjang sangat, you buka paragraf baru. Yang paling penting, cubalah untuk asingkan paragraf, asingkan elemen. Jangan 2 elements in 1 paragraph. Okay? Sebab kita nak memudahkan lecturer untuk tanda. So, bila dia tengok paper tu macam, okay, senang hati lah. Tak adalah macam serabut kan macam tu. Sebab lecturers pun they are human. So we should try our best lah untuk memudahkan kerja diorang. And macam I dulu, I selalu highlight. I tak highlight, I garis. I buat double line for the cases. I tak sure kalau lecturer korang bagi ke tidak untuk highlight. Tapi kalau korang ada masa, nanti waktu dah habis jawab tu kan, korang underline, garis je. Kalau highlight macam bahaya kan. Just garis, buat double line on the cases that you mention. So bila lecturer tengok, oh macam, oh budak ni dah tunjuk the cases apa yang diorang mention. Sebab lecturer kena tanda banyak paper. Takkan kita nak suruh dia pula yang cari dekat mana kita letak cases tu kan. So, cubalah untuk underline the cases untuk memudahkan. And you guys pun akan mudah juga nanti untuk korang recheck the cases. Macam tu je lah kot. I think that is all for our session. Sebab kita ada limit tau. Oh my god, I baru perasan korang punya tab. Kejap. Kita ada 6 minit lagi. Tak apa, lantak lah. Okay. Saya nak tanya untuk application kena mention all the elements that mentioned in the question ke? Kalau elements tu ada 2 je dalam question macam mana? So, okay, contohnya macam Fatisha cakap kan. You have to mention all the elements. By who or by group, walaupun contohnya kan dalam soalan tu, satu elemen je dia fulfill. You kena juga cakap pasal 2 elemen tu. Tapi how do you say that? You just cakap dekat bahagian conclusion. Dekat bahagian conclusion. Tapi dekat bahagian application pun you cakap lah. Tapi macam mana you nak cakap that if ada elements yang tak fulfill, you cakap je. This element is fulfilled because by applying the case, ni we are talking about application tau. No, okay. However, by applying the case of yada yada yada, in this case, the element of contohnya publication is not fulfilled because Ali has not posted the defamation words on anywhere. Macam tu. You kena cakap juga the element. Tapi cara you cakap tu macam mana? You cakap je lah yang the element is not fulfilled. Sebab apa lah? You cakap lah your reason. Jangan tinggalkan. Contohnya cakap, oh, dia ada satu elemen je dia fulfill. Contohnya, the words are defamatory. Publication tak ada, referring to plaintiff tak ada. So, you tak tulis. Jangan. You kena juga tulis benda tu. Tapi, you kena cakap lah yang benda tu tak dipenuhi. Faham tak? Faham tak, Fatisha? Okay, Rida. I'm sorry, it was my mistake earlier. For application pun, you kena cakap juga. By applying the case of yada yada yada, however, the element of contohnya breach of duty is not established, is not proven. Why? Then you cakap. So, it was my mistake. Tapi for application pun you cakap juga. Okay? Sebenarnya dekat bahagian conclusion tu, you just cakap lah. Therefore, defamation is not established because even though the words are defamatory, which is fulfilling the first element, however, the other 2 elements, which is referring to plaintiff and also publication is not fulfilled. Thus, it is very unlikely for contohnya Ali to succeed in her claim for defamation. Is it clear, Vida? Did I answer your question? Alright, okay. Anyone ada soalan lagi tak? Korang periksa 11 hari bulan kan? So ada masa banyak lagi. Make sure you guys have some rest tau. Just don't push yourself too hard. Okay? Ada soalan lagi tak? Kalau korang tak nak tanya kat sini pun, nak PM I on Telegram, just text me, okay? Just text in the group. I don't mind. Sebab I just finished my final. So, I will still have plenty of time. So, kalau korang nak text, if you guys want me to check your exam, your answer ke, boleh je. Tapi, I want you guys to know yang I'm not the lecturer. So, what matters is that lebih baik korang ask your lecturers lah. Tapi, if macam saya cakap tadi, kalau lecturer korang ada bagi tahu tip dengan apa yang I cakap, do not follow me, okay? Sebab I punya from my own understanding on my lectures. Ada apa-apa lagi tak? I takut I laju sangat. Tapi since you guys pun Tak ada interrupt I rasa okey kot. So, anyone ada soalan lagi tak? This is like a starter lah untuk korang sebab next sem korang ada business law. Next sem next last sem korang ada administrative law. So if you guys need help untuk that pun, just you know where to find me. Okay? I think that's all lah kot untuk our session ni. Thank you so much guys for joining my session. Again, kalau korang ada apa-apa, just text me, okay? And all the best for your final exam. Make sure that you guys have some rest. Jangan push yourself too hard. And if let's say nanti kan dekat dalam exam, korang dah tak ingat sangat the cases name, memang dah tak boleh recall sangat, tapi korang ingat what happened, korang cakap macam ni. In the decided case, itu dah kalau last option lah if you don't remember the cases name. Tapi janganlah guna macam tu. Try to remember the name lah. Lagi 3 minit. Thank you guys. Oh. Okay, jap. Okay. Oh, ada soalan ke? Kan. Ask je. Oh, tak ada soalan. Okay. Okay, guys. No worries. Just text me tau. Anything. Okay. Untuk bagian application, macam mana kita nak goreng ayat supaya markah kita penuh? Cukup ke kalau kita ulang fakta